Friends, have you ever met any of your heroes? Well, be prepared, because man, can it ever be a letdown. To his face, I said, you're a asshole. Friends, Bryan here. Look at the weather. It is about plus 15 where I am. And will the snow go? It's going, but we live in Canada. And here in Canada, welcome to Canada, man. We don't even accept that the winter's over till the end of May. You see some crazy things here. I have another interesting life story for you guys about meeting your idols, your heroes. I have a really good story and I have a really bad story. So, heroes, idols, whatever you want to call them, they're good to have. They motivate us, especially when we're young. We're like, man, I want to be like that. Or I want to play guitar like that. Or I want to play drums like that. Or I want to be that strong. Or I want to be able to paint like that guy, Bob Ross. So a lot of guitar players, as you guys know, I'm a professional musician. I'm a number of things, but a lot of my adult life, I've been a professional musician. I give high-end guitar instruction. A lot of people over the years would always say to me, who's your favorite guitar player? Like when you were younger, who were you looking up to? And the answer to that question, for all you guitar aficionados out there, is a fellow by the name of Alex Skolnick. Now, Alex was well known for playing in the metal band Testament. And also, he is a very well-known jazz guitar player. And when I was a teenager, in my formative years developing on the guitar, I loved Testament. I loved his playing. And when I was a teenager, I wrote a letter to Alex Skolnick saying, hey man, I can't tell you how much I really appreciate your playing, how much it's affected me and motivated me, blah, 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 blah. And to my surprise, a few weeks later, he wrote me back. And it wasn't just like 2 sentences. It was like, he wrote me like pages. He said, hey man, I'm just on tour. I'm just getting on the plane. And he was talking to me about all kinds of stuff, tips on the guitar, telling me how he was. I know I still have that letter somewhere in storage, but that left a really good impression on me when I was young. Also, as you guys know, I have a music channel. I had interviewed some of my favorite guitar players on that channel, and he and I had discussed him coming on and doing an interview. Very busy guy. So last year I had the pleasure of meeting him face-to-face virtually online.
All right, so there's Bryan. Okay, cool. What's up, Bryan?
Great guy, and I couldn't say enough about him. And he's always been a class act to all his fans, to my understanding, but my experiences with him have been very good. So, we've talked about the good. Mr. Alex Skolnick, my hat's off to you. Very good hero, very good person who inspired me. But now we're going to go to the bad, and this is quite the story. So, as you guys know by now, I've lived a crazy life, and we haven't peeled all the layers back yet, my friends. But lifting has been an important part of my life. And in 2014, I'd just gotten back into working out. In my 30s, I was married at the time, and I had a wife and 2 stepchildren that I was supporting. Story for another day. But in my 30s, I really neglected myself because I was constantly working. I was gigging a lot, so I was doing a lot of traveling, gone on weekends kind of thing. I neglected myself and my health. So around 2013, 2014, I said, man, I got to get back into working out again. In 2014, I've been back working out a little while. And I went to a big fitness expo in Toronto. It's called the Toronto Pro Super Show. And I met all kinds of celebrities during my lifting tenure in my 40s. I met all kinds of celebrities in the lifting industry. But there's one person in particular I wanted to meet. He was really big about promoting his fans or everything, this and that. I'm not going to name names. I know some of you will figure it out. He won the Mr. Olympia a few times in the 2000s. Very popular guy. So I'm at this expo, I'm meeting all kinds of people. And I remember saying to my ex-wife at the time, I said, you know, I'd really like to meet so-and-so. You know, I like his videos, his training inspires me. To her credit, she said to me, she said, You know, Bryan, I don't know. I have a feeling he's going to be a real asshole. No, he's all about his fans. He's all about his fans. And he had his own supplement line, and he had a booth there, and all these people were spending all kinds of money on his supplements, and he had a smile beside them, taking pictures with a big smile and a big thumbs up. I wanted to be very conscientious of how I approached him. I wanted to be very polite. And the Sunday of this weekend, I saw him coming in the lobby where I was staying, in the hotel where I was staying. It was right beside the venue. And he comes walking in, and I thought, okay, now's a good time. So I went up to him. I took the very polite, I can be a not so nice person, but I took the very polite approach. I said, excuse me, Mr. So-and-so, I hate to bug you. I know you're busy. Can I just have 1 second to have your picture? And he was like, I don't know, man. I'm really busy. I got places to go. I don't have time for this. And I said, I'll literally just be 1 second. But I had an iPhone and I was trying to boot it up. And he looked at me, he said, what, your phone's not ready? My ex-wife stepped in, she took the picture, she had her camera ready. As soon as we were done the picture, he just pushed me away, and then he turns around and talks to somebody right in front of me for 20 minutes. I kind of built this person up a little bit in my head, which I shouldn't have done. He was not a good guy. And there's a big footnote to the story. I had just gotten back into working out. I was crushed for a few days after. I'm like, man, like, what did I do? I was really nice. You know, sometimes when you take the really nice, polite approach, people can interpret being polite and kind as weakness. Maybe if I was a bit more of a prick, he might have responded to me differently. But anyway, fast forward 4 years. I was training very heavy. I was noticeably bigger and stronger. Kind of like Alistair Overeem. I switched over to eating horse meat. And I went to the Arnold Classic in 2018. The Arnold Classic is a big fitness expo. I think it's the biggest in the world, in Columbus, Ohio. And he was there. I was pretty big and pretty strong at the time. And as soon as I see him, I'm like, ugh. So I walk by him, he's walking by me, and I just stare him down. And I just looked at him right to his face. I said, you're a asshole. And he's just like, he just kind of kept walking away. I'm just like, you, fucking goof. So, did I handle it the best? Probably not. But that's Bryan for you. But anyway, that really left a sour taste in my mouth. So whenever I see some of this stuff popping up in my YouTube feed, I'm like, oh God. And so meeting your idols, heroes or whatever, you got to be prepared for the worst, folks. We have someone in our family who's really getting into working out, and he's asking me all these questions. And he asked me not long ago, he said, oh, you've been to the Arnold Classic? I said, yes, I have. He said, did you meet Arnold Schwarzenegger? And I'm like, you know, of course, Arnold's an inspiration to a lot of people who lift. There's a lot of things about Arnold I like. And I said, you know what? I said, I didn't meet Arnold. I would have had the opportunity there. I didn't. But, you know, maybe that's a good thing. So now when I see someone I kind of admire, I'm just like, I don't feel the need to meet them anymore. So let me ask you guys, have you ever met your idols, your heroes? How did it go? Were you crushed? Were you disappointed? Or was it a good experience? So this is why I tell you guys, having heroes is good, but we shouldn't put people up on a pedestal the way we do, especially today with social media. That's another thing with Instagram. You know, I've known some people who had a bit of a following. They weren't good people, but they don't tell people that in their Instagram posts. So anyway, I could go on and on, but that is my story about heroes. And don't build your hopes up too much, man, because they might be destroyed. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below. And remember, guys, stay on top of your health, because if you don't, no one else will. This is Bryan signing off.